If you have a firm grasp on the LinkedIn platform, there are some clients who would love to receive your services, but you've got to package them in a way where it's easy to say yes. Let's talk about that in today's video. Hey, it's Alzay Calhoun with Coveted Consultant. And if you're in the B2B niche and you understand the LinkedIn platform, there are some clients who could really appreciate your expertise and what you have to say, offer, and sell in this space. But if you don't package your services well, then you just become another digital marketing expert with lots of theories and tools and toys. So how do we make that shift? Let's do that right now. So you know that you've got to plot out your services better. Your client begins at a certain place and they want to be at this end place. Your services must take them there as fast as you possibly can. So how might that play out? Let's look at a few examples. So a common place where clients need help is with their actual profile. People don't understand the platform well and they don't know how to leverage their profile. So they need someone like you to help them do both things. Get a better profile so they can make better use of the platform. What might that service look like so you can get them to their desired end result quickly? So they want an improved profile. Now, what I want to remind you about that improved profile is that you need to be measuring something at the end. So it can't just be, oh, do you like it? Yes, I love it. Do you like it? No, I don't. It's really hard to assess quality, right? So whether it's speed, how fast you can deliver the improved profile, whether it's the number of new connections that they make, whether it's a number of new views to their profile, you've got to consider that. But make sure that whatever you create at the end can be measured so you and your client both know if you have a win. Okay, so going backwards, there's no way you can create the improved profile unless you have edited the actual copy. So what goes on the profile, all right? Like literally, what words are we going to use? There's got to be some process where you can draft a couple of edits and then your client can approve or disapprove. Going backwards from there is that in order to write a great profile, you got to be clear about what you want to highlight about their background. So what are their best projects? What have they worked on in the past? What experiences or successes do they want to highlight? You've got to have that conversation, right? But you can't do that until you clearly understand what goals are most important to them. So you may have this conversation where you try to figure out, okay, what are you really trying to say? Because maybe you have multiple backgrounds, things you could highlight. Where are you trying to go? Who are you trying to be aware to? Who do you want to be aware of you, etc., etc. So you've got to have that conversation. Let's look at LinkedIn from another perspective. So now let's look at LinkedIn in terms of lead generation. So if what your client wants are a certain number of leads at the end of the day, then how might your service work to get them there as fast as you possibly can? So again, I want to remind you, if we're talking about lead gen, we got to put a metric on that. So it can't just be, you got a lead or two. If they want 10 leads, well, then we got to call that out. If they want 2 leads, then we got to call that out. But at the end of the day, make sure that whatever you create can be measured. You must make sure that you and your client can agree on an objective win. So now let's move backwards. So you can't generate leads unless you are distributing something. So there's some sort of campaign. Some messaging is going out to someone in some way. Maybe you're putting content in groups. Maybe you're reaching out individually. Many ways to do it. You're the expert, but there's got to be some process to this. Going backwards. Are we creating this content or are we curating this content? Who's making it? Does the client already have it or do you already have it? Can you make it for them? How does all that work? You've got to be clear about that, and you can't create or curate anything unless we're clear on who we're targeting. So are we trying to reach 10 clients or 10 prospects or trying to reach 10,000? Because if your client sells $100,000 software services, there may only be 10 clients that they need to reach out to. But if they sell cake baking services, well, there could be 100,000 clients that they reach out to. You understand where I'm coming from. The point here is that you have a step-by-step process that gets them to an agreed upon goal. Your job is to make sure that not only are you clear about this when you describe the services, when you market it to people, but that you can execute it with this same level of clarity. So if we're talking about the improved profile, you've got to have a method to get clients clear on their own goals because they might not be clear on their own goals. So whatever method you apply has to get them clear on their goals. Whatever method that you have must get them clear on whatever best projects that they want to market or make people aware of. You gotta have a process for that. Don't assume that they just know what their best projects are. However this copy editing process works in your world, you've got to be clear on what your method is, what your process is for getting this copy not only created, but quickly approved so you don't find yourself making 47 edits. And then we can talk about where we are, and if you want to do this, you can do this on a month-to-month basis. Same thing down here. You've got to be able to quickly get your client to a target list. You got to quickly get your client to creating new content or curating content. Your method, your internal method of delivery has to get them clear and distribute the content for them, and then you can talk about these lead generation numbers. There are a number of ways to organize your services. You can do more of these steps or fewer of these steps, but you've got to be not only clear in how you explain it, but clear in how you deliver it. And the more organized you are in that process, the easier it is for better and better clients to say yes. And that's what I want for you. So you're the LinkedIn expert. You know what to do. Take a stab at it. I'll see you in the next video. Hey, it's Alzay again, and I really hope you enjoyed that video. I realize that things can look really simple and clean and neat and easy when they're laid out on a whiteboard, but trying to apply these things inside your business can have their own level of frustration. So what do you do now? What are your next steps? Well, if you want to watch another video, you can. If you want to subscribe to the channel, you probably should. But if you're over the information and you want help packaging and selling your unique consulting services, there's a program that I have, and you can get information on that program via a free training available right now on this page somewhere. So again, thank you for your time for watching this video, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.